This is Adrian Hart with your Southeast Colorado news on seconews.org. We're here on About the Valley to talk about Three Corners Connector, a large multi-state project that's rolling through our neighborhood. And I'm with one of the main guys here. Tell us your title
Yes,
and
sir.
what you're doing with with your project. And
Sure. Thanks, Adrian. I'm Bryant Coon,
Mhm.
and I'm the developer for Three Corners Connector. Basically, that just means that I don't have anybody to blame if something goes wrong.
Okay. So the title's developer. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right. Very good.
We're Grid United is a company I work for, and we're working on a series of projects kind of up and down the country to try to unite the grids. So there's a lot of benefit in that, and we'll kind of talk about some of the benefits here in a minute, but we're really excited about Three Corners Connector. It's a project here you can see on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Generally goes from Pueblo, Colorado, down to Guyman, Oklahoma, up to about 300 miles. And what it does is it connects the eastern and western grids. So you're able to move lots of power back and forth.
Holy cow. It's like you guys are, so what you're going to be doing just down the street, like, yeah, Kiowa County neighborhood, right?
Sure. So we're in Colorado. We're going through Baca, up through Bent, and then across Otero and into Pueblo. So
Okay, so I picked the only county you guys aren't going in.
That's all right. That's all right.
But yeah, no. Yeah, that's a huge project. It's like putting in that Golden Railroad spike, only it's got juice, right?
You could look at it that way for sure. It is open to any kind of generation, so it'll carry all types of power. And basically, it's also a DC line, which is a little bit different than what you see in a lot of cases. If you're connecting two different grids, you have to go DC to be able to do that.
Okay.
We are lots of benefits. Again, it really comes
So we're
down
looking
to,
at our, I'm going to zoom in
Go
here. If
ahead.
you want to step up and speak up,
Sure.
we got the economic benefits.
Yeah, so lots of economic benefits. The total capital budget for the project is around $1.5 billion. So that's
huge.
Quite a bit. It takes a lot of money to buy the steel to get this thing built, and also those converter stations. To go from AC to DC on both ends, we've got to build converter stations that are pretty expensive too. Lots of complicated equipment and those as well. The benefits, though, it's not just the money that we're spending on this project, Adrian. It's from reducing costs through, if you look at it a little bit like you've got two markets that are separated and you don't have a way to get much power back and forth between them. We can transfer a little bit today, but not very much. This opens up the door to be able to transfer up to 3,000 megawatts, which is really a lot of power. You're able to, for power that doesn't have any place to go, there's not really a good market for it. On one end, at sometimes prices will be different, and we'll be able to ship it to the place where it's more needed. And then other times we'll be able to ship it the opposite direction. So power can go both ways.
I think at the end of this, I'm going to go Google 3,000 megawatts
Yeah,
and try to put that in perspective
sure.
because that's a big number.
Yeah, it is. It is a big number, and it's I'll send you some more stuff you can post about it to kind of help that put in context.
We've been looking at your guys' display here. Now, you guys recently had an open house.
We did. So, to start a project like this, there are lots of different ways to do it, and we are a landowner and stakeholder first approach is what we're taking, where we really want to make sure we're getting out in front of the folks that are going to be most directly impacted by this. We want to try to find a route that works for all the social, economic, and environmental factors that we're trying to kind of balance. And then we want to make sure that the landowners across that are actually going to be hosting the line, presumably, are interested in it. If they're not, that's 100% okay by us, and we'll try to figure out a different
An
way,
alternate
route to keep people happy. But
Right.
we you look at everything from where are residences, where are schools, where are drainages, where are wetlands, there are a lot of there are also
There are a lot of
environmental
factors.
impacts and
Yeah.
stuff too. So it's really trying to balance all of that, and so basically try to find a route that we think can work. Talk to all those owners. As we need to make changes, we're doing that. We've got lots of changes we've got underway and have made lots so far, and it's still a process, but once we get all that done and we think we have a route that everybody's happy with, then there's still lots of work to do. We've got to get it permitted. So,
Right. So that's your next slide right here.
Yes,
and
sir.
we'll transition in, give you a moment to breathe, and we will transition into permitting.
Yeah.
We'll also let you guys know that we're going to have a copy of this available for you guys to check out on seconews.org. So
Sure.
Yeah,
Thanks,
so,
Adrian.
so you can get through the permitting process.
Yeah, so there, Colorado counties especially have lots of power in being able to dictate where the routes of projects like these go, and Otero County is no different. And so we are, what we want to be able to do though is we want to make sure that the community and landowners are all happy with us before we walk in and file for our permits. So that's a little bit different approach than a lot of projects take, but we think it's something that sets us apart and something that's going to help us be successful. Of course, after we get our county permits, there are still lots of state and federal permits we have to get as well, but that's a little bit down the road.
Now that's probably rolled into that $1.5 billion, right?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely part of it.
That's part of the
That's
cost.
definitely part
Yeah.
of it.
Yep. But nice to see that you guys are going right through all the compliance as far as not stepping on property owners' toes and making sure that the regional governments are all happy and satisfied. And here's a timeline. So I guess here's our best. We're going to get into our summation period of the interview.
Sure. So a project like this takes a long time. It's not something that's simple. It's not something that's fast. And what was really difficult on ones like these is, aside from trying to figure out the best route that's going to work for both, the landowners and the communities and for the environment, we also have to get all the materials and those converter stations I mentioned where we'll have to convert AC to DC on both ends. Those are about a 3 to 5 year lead time from the time you sign a contract until you can have them
I've heard
installed.
municipalities having trouble with getting, basic stuff for their electrical system.
Sure. There are supply chain issues all over the place, and so that definitely stretches it out as well. We've got a couple of years in there. So right now, let me just kind of take you through it. We're really trying to get landowners on board. We are out doing surveys to figure out the exact best spot to stick the line. We're making sure that landowners are happy with where we would like to place it, going through reroutes, and so that's where we're at now. As we get done with that portion of it, we'll do some more engineering and design work to try to finalize exactly not just where the route will go, but where poles will go, where the roads will go that'll help us get this thing built and maintain it. And then we will start doing those permits that we talked about a little bit here later on this year. And construction though, so 2 kind of phases of construction. You've got the line you've got to get built, and you've got those converter stations. They take a little bit longer from the time you start doing the design and buying them, having them manufactured, and so those will start in 2024. But really probably the first groundbreaking where we're doing any kind of work, starting to dig holes for structures or build roads or anything would be 2027. And we would hope to have this thing in operation by the end of 2029.
Very cool.
Yes, sir.
So that's huge. Massive $1.5 billion project wrapping right through southeast Colorado.
Yes, sir.
So thank you for taking the time.
Sure.
And I look forward to getting some updates on the project as it rolls out and makes progress.
And I'd encourage folks to check us out on our website. We've got
here we go. We can pan down here, but you go ahead and keep talking.
ThreeCornersConnector.com.
Okay.
And if you've got any questions, we're happy to visit with you. info@threecornersconnector.com, and also have a phone number on there, and Adrian will have that posted along with these slides here pretty soon.
Very good. Yep. So we'll put the slides up, and we'll put the contact info up for you guys. And of course, we'll keep getting that content and keeping you informed. So there we go.
Thank you.
All right. For Three Corners Connector in La Junta, Colorado, for the people of Southeast Colorado, I'm Adrian Hart.